All right, welcome to Goddess Spotting. We're going to be brain spotting with the goddess. You'll just be introduced to the modality of brain spotting, and then we'll have a little experiential practice with it. So, so the first thing we're going to do is just a little bit of group attunement. So we can just kind of pause and take a couple nice deep breaths. Good. Perfect. And just honoring that we're here either in person or online, and we're all here together. Perfect. So just sending a little well wishes or a little energy to all our sisters as we kind of come into cohesion together. Perfect. Good. And then you can just take a moment to take in this image, which I thought really represented kind of brain spotting with the goddess. Um, and so this one is on mind, body, spirit for the threes. And so we'll be bringing mind, body, and spirit together. All right, and then we're going to just do, I'll just give you a little bit of information on brain spotting, and then we'll be brain spotting on some images. And the temple image of Tara by Devana. And then we'll figure out, or we'll talk about some different ways that you can connect with your own goddess or goddesses, because I know everybody has a lot of them here. So, all right. So, just taking a moment to take this image in. We're here for the spring equinox. And just kind of see where your eyes are drawn. All right. So we do the group attunement to just, to just increase coherence together and synchronicity. And it also, when we do breathing and activities together, it brings us into co-regulation. Um, a little bit about brain spotting. It was developed by psychotherapist Dr. David Grand in 2003, and it came out of EMDR. Um, it's a therapy technique that uses different eye positions to help process trauma. So I do it a lot individually with different clients, and we use pointer. This is my little Harry Potter one. um, and I also have one where I can connect different colored crystals to it as well, and so people can choose that. Um, and then it's also done so it can help release trauma, but it's also used a lot in coaching as well. So people will do it with like athletes who are wanting to enhance their performance, also to meet goals and things like that as well. Here we'll be doing it a little bit different than you would do it, in an individual session. Um, and it's based on the brain body connection, and it uses your somatic experience. So as we're going along, when we start doing the brain spotting on the images, start just kind of paying attention to what you notice in your body. Um, it can be used to connect with spirit, your higher self, soul. the chakras, the goddesses, and much more. And you can find different spots for those things. Also, people who do mediumship as well, and with your intuition, you may notice as you're doing a reading or something like that, you're looking in a particular spot. And you can process issues from an activated spot, meaning, you're feeling like tightness in the chest, heart palpitations, things like that, from if we're talking about something with trauma. Or you can process it from like finding a calm, grounded place in the body first, or somewhere that's more neutral as well, or somewhere where the person feels supported. One of the principles is where you look affects how you feel. Um, and so So often, if there's shame, a lot of times people will be looking down, or when they're talking about, a certain experience. And if they're in a place where they're feeling more resourced or like connected with spirit, they'll often be looking up. There's lots of different possibilities, but just as a general rule. Um, I will talk about the music in a later slide. Yeah, so the pointer, we use it to find to kind of hold a relevant eye position after we've identified where it is. Um, and then you can also find where that position might be from different like reflexes in the body. So somebody may twitch, or their eyes may get really wide, things that often are kind of outside of their awareness as the person facilitating. You're paying attention to kind of what's happening in the body. Um, And then we hold the pointer and just have them kind of breathe and hold the gaze there. And it's almost like a meditation in a way, where they're breathing and mindfully processing, and then like a wave kind of goes through the body. So it might be more activated and then kind of calm down and go, up and down a little bit. Um, and So even just in giving information during the slide presentation, that actually kind of feeds the neocortex of the brain and pumps um, to facilitate like that readiness for brain spotting when we get to the images. Um, and we during brain spotting, you access the subcortical part of, or did I say neocortex? Yeah, the subcortical part of the brain, and that's where trauma is often stored. It can be the seat of instinct, thought, creativity, and spirituality as well. Um, and the modality itself is very resourcing for people. So I know with one client, when we got this spotter or this pointer out, it turned into a dragon, and that came in to help assist her. And it was really nice because it was a client who really didn't, we couldn't find very many resources at all and felt very unsupported. And it was very helpful for her. And I had a session the other day where the client was working on becoming the star of her own show, and kind of coming from the background to the foreground. And the pointer turned into a microphone for her to use and be able to speak up. It was really resourcing, and that just happened naturally, like through the process. Um, and resourcing can be lots of different things. Often it's people just feel very supported. It's like you can feel your spiritual resources kind of behind you or around you. Sometimes people will feel their ancestors, maybe nature, and those sort of things. All right, so we are going to just do a little bit of brain spotting on this, and the way we'll do it, in a group setting like this, you just take a few deep breaths and just kind of gaze at the image. Yeah. I wonder if the image itself might be a little bit off. All right. So you can just start taking some nice deep breaths and just notice where your eyes go. Take the image in. And just see what's happening in your body as well, if you notice any sensations. Right. For these images, I use different things that are bringing us together. So the goddess is bringing us together. Chest up. You may notice your eyes go to one place and then maybe move somewhere else on the image as well. All right, and then the next one is the Triskelion. Just checking back in with the body and notice how you feel. All right. We'll take just another minute or so here. All right, great. No, for me, as I was preparing, I was brain spotting on this, and it can sometimes turn very somatic, where I've got an experience of like walking through there. And it can happen. I know people have said they feel like they're bicycling before and different things like that. And I don't know if maybe we can share a little at the end. Yeah. All right. So often we pair the brain spotting with bilateral stimulation music. Um, And so, you want to use headphones on it, and it goes back and forth between the left and the right side of the ears and stimulates both hemispheres of the brain, allowing them to communicate more effectively. And then it also just helps you relax and eases that processing if you're, doing processing traumatic memories. I put a couple suggestions of ones I like up here. So if you, and these may be available on YouTube as well, but I know they're both on Spotify. There's EMDR music, bilateral stimulation. That one's probably my favorite one. And then there's David Grand has one. This one can get a little loud sometimes for my taste. And then my favorite one, this one, I think it's 15-20 bucks, but I've got it all set up on like a little scan disc one and with headphones in my office so clients can just grab it when they come in. And sometimes we even if we're not brain spotting, they'll listen to it. And I started incorporating it into my Reiki sessions as well. And I really like this one. And it's really interesting too. Sometimes as people are brain spotting, the music will sync up with maybe the way the image starts to move for them, or the light comes in through the outside and different things like that. And anyways, yeah. So this is something like I use this when I'm if I'm working or just in general on my own as well. All right. So we're going to just do a little brain spotting on our March Temple Goddess image by Devana Wolf. Uh, uh, Ara Tara rising from Lake Siskiyou. So I'll give you a couple minutes and just see where your eyes are drawing. A moment.
Sometimes looking away, like caught in a spin cycle, and I get shot out the side.
All right, so there's all the iconography here. Um, and so, if you were, I'll just read off a couple of them. So there's the blue lotus flower, the upala, and that's associated with wisdom and knowledge, if your eyes were drawn there. Um, the five elements here in the crown. What else? And then the flower of life in the background is all the elemental realm and has the five colors in it as well. And the dogwood flowers that's these, right? Yeah, the dogwood flowers all around are in bloom in spring in Siskiyou County. And dogwood represents purity, rebirth, and unconditional love. Um, and then the moon and the sun up here represent Tara's eyes in the heavens. And there's a little more in there, but yeah. All right. So, for a group like this is all things that everybody's already doing. But these can be entry points. And so we'll just do a little bit of a visualization here in a moment. But this might be things next time you're working with your goddess that you'd like to connect with. Or doing ritual, you may, or even just thinking about, some of the sacred sites and different things like that can take you there. And so you may just pay attention to where you are looking. You may find, okay, when I connect with Tara, let's say, I happen to look up and to the left. So these could be, different entry points to that connection. The different sounds, putting on, doing your own prayers or putting on the music, um, smells, and then even gazing, you can gaze as well at that particular goddess, at their imagery. Um, Look at pictures of their temples or altars. You could look at your altars as well and take in their statues and sacred objects. And even just like pondering the characteristics of that goddess or her stories that you would like to bring in more. Um, you may notice over time that you are looking in a particular area. Um, So let's just take a moment here and you can also do, so a lot of people um, do brain spotting with their eyes closed as well. Usually we will like originally find a spot with eyes open and then, your eyes may get tired. And that's fine. And often even as the eyes are closed, they may be looking in a particular, still looking at that spot. So we'll just take a moment to bring to mind whatever one of your goddesses that you would like to connect more with. Just taking a couple nice deep breaths. Good. And just imagine her image, what she may be wearing, her smell or perfume wafting in. what she looks like. And even take a moment to feel her support around you, within you. And as you connect with her, notice if there's any sensations that come along with this in your body. Do you feel calm and grounded? Do you feel excited, happy? Very good. And as you're connecting with her and thinking of her, just see if you can, if you have your eyes open, you can notice where you may be gazing. If your eyes are closed, you're probably still gazing somewhere in particular. So just take a moment to notice where that is. Good. And this will be a place that you can come back to when you want to connect with her quickly, receive guidance, receive support, and feel closer than ever to your goddess. Beautiful. And when you're ready, you can just start coming back. Right. And then just a couple quick ideas that you could, if you like this idea and you want to bring it more into your day. Um, I often will start my day with picking a tarot or oracle card, and then I will brain spot on it. I put on my music and I just gaze at the image and take it on. And I like to do that before I even look at the guidebook or anything, and kind of, um, connect with it that way. Another thing that's really easy, especially if you're sitting at the computer and you're working, but anytime, is just to have pull an image up on the computer, and take a little 5-minute break. So pictures of nature work really well too. It could be pictures of the goddess, whatever inspires you. And then you can also actually even really just do this looking out into nature and just kind of see where your eyes are drawn, and you may be processing something as you do that. And then, you just pair it with breathing mindfully and the music if you like that.
Which music?
It's
The binaural. With the binaural beats.
yeah, similar. It's a little bit different. I can show you afterwards a
Thank
couple
you.
of them. Yeah. All right, so this is our last image here. And so this is from the Star Tarot. And so we can just take a moment to take that in. Right, and you may notice as well as you're doing this with the images that your mind starts to go to like a particular issue or something you've been working through, those sort of things naturally. You know, if it's like a heavy trauma or something, then I would suggest working with somebody else because one of the principles is a dual attunement. So even just somebody holding attunement and witnessing, with you, sitting with you is a really important part of it. But you'll naturally kind of start to process things on your own. All right. And so if you like this and you want to go deeper in the temple, I'll be offering this once a month with Devana's images. And so next week or next month, it will be Aphrodite on April 15th, which I think those are Tuesdays. Oh, yeah. The third Tuesdays at 6 p.m. So um, well, that's it.
Yeah. And I feel like there's so much to be gleaned here for the people who are doing readings and thinking about how we use our tools and look at things. Thank you. No, you can stay right there. Thank you so much. I just am gonna stop the share and stop the recording.